महाकायं च कच्छपं भक्षार्थं गरुडशाखां आजगाम महाबलः. This was the same tree. So Maricha was seated under that tree. Now he had become a sannyasi. Later Ravana asks, how did you become a sannyasi? You are never used to peace. How did you become a sannyasi? Maricha says, at the age of 12, when Rama gave me that hit by that arrow made me a good person. So I have become a sannyasi. So this Maricha was seated in the shade of a banyan tree. And what was this banyan tree? Valmiki says, Adaya Mahakayam Chakachapam. This was the same tree on whose branch Garuda sat while holding an elephant and a tortoise. You are able to get these two verses. Now this shloka comes in Aranya Kandam, next to Ayodhya Kandam. Next comes Kishkindha Kandam. In Kishkindha Kandam, there is a shloka which reads very beautifully. It says, Tatra Vaikhanasanama Griham cha Vainateyasya Nanaratna Vibhushitam Tatra Kailasa Sankasham Vihitam Vishwakarmana. When the Vanara Sainya in Kishkindha, our own state of Karnataka, when Sugriva said that Rama has fulfilled his promise of fetching me my kingdom and my wife, I need to reciprocate. So Vanaras go in search of Sita in different directions. One team to the east, one to the west, one to the north, one to the south. So to that team which was going in the eastern direction, Sugriva tells, you will come across an island called Yavadvipam. Dvipa means island. This last 1 week we have been speaking only about islands. More than Bharatadesham. Whether it was Dvipa in Lakshadvipam or Maladvipam. Maladvipam means that chain of islands that look like a mala. So it is Maladvipam which became Maladiva. Maldiv we say, right? So 1 week all news channels we have been debating only about islands. Now I'll take you to another lesser spoken island. It is called Yavadvipam. Sugriva says, go to that Yavadvipam. What is Yava? In Sanskritam, in many occasions, Ya and Ja are replaceable. So Yamuna is Jamuna. Yava is Java, which is Java Island. He says, go to that place of Java Island, and beyond which there is another island, he says. In that island, you will find people of great prowess and radiance who are meditating, but very short in stature. They were called Valakilyas. Valakilyas are the Lilliputians, very, very short, but of great tejas. So they will be worshipping. And then he says, it is in this island, Griham cha Vainateyasya, that island will be home to Vainateya, the son of Vinata, Garuda. Nanaratna Vibhushitam. Why Nanaratna? Because the chain of islands, the archipelago nation of Indonesia, is also seismic in nature. You will keep getting volcanic eruptions. When volcanic eruptions happen in that part of the world, the ratna, the precious stones that are found within the earth come back to the surface. So even from the top, let's have a drone camera view, you will find it very colorful. So he says, Nana Ratna Vibhushitam, Tatra Kailasa Sankasham Vihitam Vishwakarmana. You will find a huge peak that will resemble the Kailasha and seated on which will be Garuda. So in Kishkindha Kandam, Sugriva tells the Vanaras that go east, beyond Java Island, you will find a place where Garuda sits. You will find a place where Valakilyas worship. In Aranya Kandam, the Kandam previous to that, Ravana from Sri Lanka, Lanka Pradesham, visits Pamban Island and informs his uncle Maricha, who is seated under the shade of a tree on whose branch Garuda sat. In the Kandam before that, in Ayodhya Kandam, when Rama leaves Ayodhya, Kaushalya says, I will bless you, my dear son, with those same verses as to what Vinata blessed Garuda with. Now we have 3 different places, Ayodhya, Aranya, Kishkindha Kandam, in the Ramayana, which is around 5000 BCE. Fine, sir. तो ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं वो 5000 BC के पहले हुआ था. But who will tell what happened? See, all these are references, but we don't know the story. There is the story. This story of Garuda comes in the 3000 BCE book. The story happened before 5000 BCE, but it comes in 3000 BCE. Where is that? It comes in Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, we have 18 parvas. What is the first parva called? Either you have to Google and tell me or tell me. There are only two options. Adi Parva. So, be it our own Vyasacharya to Viki Purana, they all agree that the first Parva of Mahabharata is Adi Parva. That itself has close to 10,000 to 15,000 shlokas. It's a mammoth Parva. In that Parva, Vyasacharya delineates Vainateyo Pakhyanam. What is Vainateyo Pakhyanam? The greatness of Garuda is said. It is said that Kashyapa Maharishi had many wives. One set of wives were Kadru and Vinata. I have told this in many of my lectures, I will repeat. Why did he marry so many women? Isn't this against women empowerment? Valid question, good question. You have to ask him, not me. Because at the end of the lecture, this will be one question. Why did Kashyapa marry? Did he ask my permission? He got married. I am here only to narrate. That's all. He married Kadru and Vinata. Kadru nourished and adopted the snakes as her very sons, as her very children. Vinata, on the other hand, took up the enemy of the snakes. She wanted the birds. So she opened the first egg that was found in a roost. While she opened, that was an undeveloped fetus. It was developed only till